But let me ask you guys something, only because I don't want to forget it. Switching topics. So this, what's her name? Young Miami, right? This song that she has, I don't know the title. What's it called? Spin That?
Spin That.
So we saw, I haven't heard the whole song. It's a little catchy, but I haven't heard the whole song. I know you guys saw on Instagram. So we have India Ari, and I don't remember the other lady's name. I don't know if she's an influencer or whoever she is that kind of listened to the song, and they're saying that the song, you know, is yes, it's catchy, but it's kind of bad for the culture.
Agreed.
It's teaching women this and that. Now, on the flip side, I'm gonna let you guys answer both A and B question. Do you agree? Second, you had a lot of people in the comments, men and women, saying, well, when Uncle Luke used to rap about, you know, but you can't say that. You can't immediately
It's a
say
defense
that.
mechanism.
But it's not a defense mechanism. It's speaking facts. But it's asking what do you think about it. When Uncle Luke used to sing his songs, how come they're saying we never looked at it like that? It was fun. It was nice to dance to. Men felt like they were pimps and women was hoes. Like, what is it that she's doing wrong versus what was done then? And why is she being viewed as not good for the culture if he was more praised?
I think when Luke was
That's why I
hot,
said invest that.
when Luke was hot though, I don't think we had that much research to know how impressionable the music is. I think today we have very much more logic to know that music definitely is impactful, influential, and definitely can control and breed minds to believe and think a certain way. So when you look at some people, you're like, damn, this music is so like toxic that it's gonna teach the next culture of people to be toxic. For instance, the last player of the decade was LeBron. A lot of people used to try to play like LeBron. Then became what? Steph Curry. A lot of the players want to play like Steph Curry.
Right.
People are influenced rather by anything that is big or hot. I remember when I was younger, Dipset was the culture. A lot of people became gang members behind that whole movement, right? So it does play a major part. Right, I know dudes that want to scam more because scammers are put on a pedestal like God looked at. You know, a lot of women, they'll say, and I'm not saying all, but a few women will say, I want to date a scammer.
Okay.
Right, and it's because of what it's looked at and viewed as. It's viewed as he's rich. Most of the scammers I know, they make a couple dollars and go back to being broke over and over and over. That's most of the scammers I know. I don't know a bunch of scammers that's rich and wealthy. I don't know none. I know there's some that get a lick and they go back to being broke.
Right.
Reason why I said defense mechanism, because I feel like our culture, we do this a lot. You know you're dead wrong. You know you're dead wrong, but what you're going to do is you're going to push it over to somebody else so you don't take the baggage for being wrong. You're wrong. That's a bad song. Mines are very impressionable.
Yes.
You got young kids. I saw a video. It's kids on a bus where on my scamming, where they spend at 4, 5, 6 years old singing this. And then when they 12, 13 thoughts, why
you got to also fault the parents for allowing them to know that. My kids don't know that music. If I call my 12-year-old right now, well, she's 11 going on 12, I say to her right now, hey, who is Megan Thee Stallion? She gonna say,
She might not know.
no,
right?
she gonna say Megan is a name and the Stallion is a male horse. That's what she gonna say to you.
But
Because I
think-
don't introduce her to that culture.
I think a lot of things are impressionable. You're right, but I don't think that we hold celebrities to a higher standard than we should. I think that in your household, you're responsible for your children. And yes, you may not know and you may not be able to contain or restrict everything they see, but you're responsible for that.
Goes
It's
back
no
to the
one
parents.
else's. It's not
She's
Young
right.
Miami's job to raise your daughter. And yes, there's influence when the kids are hearing the music because, like I said, you can't control what happens outside of your home when you're not there. But you have we grew up with a lot of music. Dipset didn't make everyone a gangbanger. You had a lot of people that listened to it that wasn't gangbanging. They just liked the music, like Q said. So I feel like we got to take accountability for our kids and know that, all right, we had Lil' Kim back in the day. We had Foxy Brown back in the day. So we can't sit here and blame Young Miami for her song when you got to be blamed for parent your child and let them know, even if you hearing that, this is not what we do.
Can I ask you a
Period,
question?
you know?
How many people you saw in our generation who had their pants on backwards because of a group? What was the group called?
Crisscross? Is it
What was the
Crisscross?
song?
What's the song?
Jump.
Oh, Joe,
Jump.
yeah, maybe one day, yeah.
So that's how influential music is. But I think now we can really see that how impactful it is.
Yeah.
To the point
Because of
where
social media.
Listen, they put a lot of people. Some of the music put people to take risks with their freedom in jail.
Yeah.
Look at everyone. You got young kids running around here with something called the Pooh Shiesty mask. When I grew up, it was called, I don't even want to say the term of it, but it was called something completely different. But they were running around here with the Pooh Shiesty on.
Yeah.
And look at Pooh Shiesty, he's a crash out, and this is what these guys, they immortalize. But again, this is what we're taught. We give these people these pedestals, and then we get mad at the fact that they give us exactly what it is. I can't get mad at somebody you done took from nothing, hasn't done nothing special for the culture, and you've given them this platform. Of course, they don't know no better.
Right.
They're gonna do exactly what they know. If you tell somebody right now, straight from the projects, don't know nothing about nothing, and you give them a platform, all they're gonna do is talk about what they know. So I don't know her to be such an intellect. I feel like from what I've ever heard of Young Miami's music, it's been very low IQ music. Very low IQ for me. You know, respectfully, I don't know. I'm not saying she's low IQ, but the music that she puts out is definitely very low IQ music.
Her music either, but I just feel like I said, we can't hold these celebrities accountable. Someone said before, whatever happens, a family night, whatever. I think there's certain things that we can do to maybe not keep things out of your household, because again, people are exposed. It's a different time than when me and you were growing up. We're 40, so we're not going to compare the generation now to us back then. The exposure is a lot different.
100%.
But parents still have to be held accountable for their children. What happens
I
in
want
your
somebody to
house?
answer that question at the bottom. Someone with the red box. Question. Read that out, Tyler. I like that question.
GJL1225 said, question, why is the culture so offended by correction? Great question.
Because this is a narcissistic aspect of our culture. Our culture has heavy narcissism in it. I don't believe that most people are narcissists. I believe that a lot of people have traits. And I think one of the traits is the inability to be corrected because of the fact of how it makes you feel. See, when you're being checked, it feels like someone, like I told you last time, I can correct my friend. I told you can check me. Right? But it's a respect thing still.
Right.
But I can still check my friend. I can check my boy. I can check my group. I can check my team. And they can also check me if I'm not coming correct.
Right.
Especially when we represent each other. I do believe that we've been taught that correcting is an attack. And therefore we become very defensive. But the only way you learn is by people that can see you better than you can see yourself, but you don't want to listen to people that see you and view you better than you view yourself. That's a problem within itself right there. We're looking dead at you and telling you this is the issue, but you're so offended by the fact that you're making it us the villains when you know we love, we will protect you, we'll be there for you. That's kind of scary. I think the first thing people must acknowledge is like, you know what? What is this? A learning moment or an attack moment? Right. I think this is a learning moment. Once you can identify this as a learning moment, you let your guards down and be receptive. The only way people learn is by being receptive. And most people aren't receptive. And that's our problem in our culture in itself.
Why do you think a lot of us are so drawn to that, though? Drawn to the Young Miamis, a lot of women, the Cardi B's, the all of these social media influencers. Why do you think a lot of women are drawn to those and those are their idols as opposed to?
Because they told that they living their best life, they traveling out. Remember I told you that less than 1% of OnlyFans people make over $10,000.
Right.
But based on the charts of OnlyFans, it looks like a lot of those girls make a lot of money. But the reality is OnlyFans has become the Backpage. Backpage was a place where women went to sell their vaginas. OnlyFans has become the same aspect where women are online selling their vagina. So if you see that girl in Nebraska, then you see that girl in Colorado, then you see that girl in Cali, then you see that girl in Philly, that girl is flying different locations selling her body. But she will never tell you her personal business because every time you see her everywhere, that's all she's doing. If 1% of OnlyFans creators only make $10,000 or more, 1%. That means 99% makes less than anywhere near $10,000 a year. A year. So it's $10,000 a year. So that means where is this money coming from? That means these women are selling clearly their vaginas, and then they got these young women believing that you don't have to work hard. You have an asset that can make you a lot of money. But again, you're teaching them to lower their standards, but that can only be the devil at work. And teaching the most powerful thing we have is the Black Queen. The Black Queen standing next to a king is the most immaculate team that could ever be created. That's Voltron within itself. But now we telling our women the same way they crucified our men with the music and made us think a certain way psychologically. They're doing the same thing to the women. And these women are eating it up because they feeding them the feminist mentality. But what's the problem though with that feminist mentality is the sacrificial lambs. And a lot of cases when those children come out, they children lose. And when you say it, it's like, no, you're missing a major component in a child, right? Which is the masculinity. So right there, a woman screaming is just a woman screaming. That don't make her strong or tough. A lot of times women feel like 'cause they can raise their voice, no, that don't make you
But
tough.
what about the men that are paying for this? Like, what about the men that are flying the women out? Like you said, for every woman who's selling her vagina, there has to be someone she's selling it to.
Agreed.
I'm not assuming she's flying out
Those
to
are
have sex
bozos,
with
though.
animals. But
Well, you know,
what
people,
about
you know
the
that
men
people are sick. Right
doing
now,
this?
respectfully, one of my favorite writers, music writers of all time, is in prison because of his weirdness. I don't want to say his name, but I'm still a fan of his music. But in the same breath, he's in prison right now because of his freak-offs and his nastiness. But yet, still in the same breath, just because you have money, it only intensifies your weirdness. So these people that have money, a lot of them are weird. So you have a man that has money. Now he has access to everything that's in his head. Every dream he has in his head, he knows some
can
woman
bring it,
will
yeah.
fulfill it for the right payment. So again, he knows in his head, he's like, for the right payment, some woman is out there that will fulfill my fantasies. And that's a sad part. Just because he's strong financially, don't mean he's strong mentally. Could be very weak and weird, you know? But that music is definitely playing a major part in our culture.